ahead and first tell us which players are with us.
Reese Grodehouse Sr., Ella Rao Jr., and Ella Boyd Jr.
Thank you. And then you want to start out with just a general comment about the game, and then we'll go to questions.
You might want to start with one of them. Really proud of these kids. This was a community effort. These kids have bought into what we tried to do. They're so unselfish. They don't care who gets credit. Obviously, our community got behind these kids. They battled every step of the way in the tournament. We talked just after the game right there. There were a lot of tears in that locker room because they thought they could play with anybody in the state. And I said, well, you know what? It was a magic ride, but we could have been shedding tears at the sectional final. It was that much of a challenge, but these kids rose up to every challenge that came their way, and I can't be more proud of these three kids standing here and the other 14 that are out there with their parents right now.
Questions?
I guess just with that, you talked about the unselfishness, obviously that's been a theme of you guys all year, but just especially when Reese picks up that second foul early on, how key was to see kind of pretty much everybody step up and contribute in some type of way?
Well, it's been that way all along. We've had some other kids that just fill in. Blaze Langander, probably the best sixth man in the state of Ohio, would be starting for a lot of programs, but we don't lose a lot when Blaze comes in. Allie Allspaw came in and gave us minutes when Kaylee Thiel got in foul trouble, and she's basically playing with one arm and played through shoulder injuries all summer, or all season, I guess. And just really proud of those two kids. We didn't panic. Obviously, we had issues taking care of the basketball the first half, but I was really proud of the way we executed our game plan. That's the way we wanted to defend them. Obviously, Dee Alexander got hers, and we were okay with that as long as the other people didn't step up and hurt us from the perimeter, and that was kind of our game plan going in.
Can you talk about the second quarter? It was magical at the beginning for you, the first 3 minutes, 12-0 run, go up by 11. Talk about that, and then how they finished the half and got that momentum back.
Well, we were trying to obviously, pressure them. We didn't want them to get comfortable. We had seen enough film that they wanted to dribble, drive hard right, and we tried to take that away from them. And we made some shots that second quarter, and it became contagious. Ella Rao was for this young lady who's struggled at times this year, really stepped up when we needed her to. And unfortunately, she banged her head on the floor, and we were without her there in the second half. But down the stretch, obviously, they put more pressure on us, and we got a little fatigued. We got a little hesitant when Ella obviously sat down. Our rotation had to be a little bit shorter and a little bit quicker, I guess, in terms of rest. And but I was really proud of the way the kids battled the whole game.
And I just a follow up to that, just from your how good was it to see the ball go through the hoop at this big of the stage? I know obviously during regionals you were clicking, but
yeah. It felt really good. I've been shooting every single day, trying to get my shot back and shooting well. So I try to shoot it with confidence, and if it doesn't go in, I think about the next shot, and I just continue to shoot as much as I can.
And Ella's helped us out in so many other ways, rebounding the basketball, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's game. She was absolutely huge on the rebounding, both ends of the floor, and she found other ways to contribute. And it's been that way all along. Every kid sitting up here, has taken their turn. We've got 3 or 4 others in there that take their turn, and again, it goes back to nobody cares who gets credit. Nobody cares if their name's in the paper or they're talked to after a game. It's we.
Todd, can you talk about the final score 61-47, and you look at the stat sheet, and Dee Alexander has 34 points. There's go-to players, and then there's Ms. Basketball. How just much damage that she did was responsible for you guys not getting a W?
Well, obviously she wants to play downhill, and as we got behind, they took the lead. We had to pick the ball up a little sooner, and unfortunately, when you pick the ball up a little sooner, she's so athletic, she gets by that first defender, and then we got to scramble. And, you know, we talked all week about, you know, we had to get at least 2 charges on her, and I don't know if we got one tonight. But, you know, our kids scrapped, clawed. I think we only gave up, 1 or 2 threes to a team that lives by the 3. You know, when you take her away, then she's kicking the ball out, and they've got knockdown 3-point shooters that I thought, you know, we made enough runs at and made them uncomfortable that they couldn't knock shots down.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about, you know, turning the ball over there in that first half, and it took you a while to get on the scoreboard. And how much of that was kind of nerves and kind of getting settled in this environment against a team like that and the pressure they were giving you?
Early on, it was probably nerves, and once we settled down, that second quarter, we got a little momentum going, and obviously we got the ball out of Mara. We kind of put Mara on an island, Mara Smith, our little point guard. At times we were, you know, leaving her in the backcourt with 2 people running at her. We talked about doing a better job the second half, getting somebody in the middle. And we took a Kaylee Thiel and Allie Allspaw and put them underneath the basket just to get another defender out of there so we could at least get the ball up the floor. And I thought we did a better job the second half of doing that.
Bruce, can you talk about it's your last game? You get to Dayton. It went well for a while, but all in all, just talk about the experience of playing here. And you had some ups and downs with an injury and everything, but what's it like getting here? And even though you lost,
yeah, it's been so fun. And playing in a gym like that is like something you dream about when you're little and you start playing sports. And everybody obviously wants to make it to the Final Four in their high school career, and I'm just happy to say that I was able to do that with my teammates, and like being on a team that I love so much, and like we're all best friends, so it made it 10 times better. And I just hope these girls can get back here next year, which I know they can, but I'm just glad that we all bought in and we all worked hard enough to get here this year, so it was awesome.
And then just to piggyback off that, I know Todd, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I guess if either of the Elves want to just talk about just the historic ground you guys broke the season. I mean, there's a laundry list of what you guys did, just what that means for the program and all that type of stuff.
Well, we always talk about our alumni.
He's excited.
Just the bonds we've created this season is like unmatched to anything we've ever experienced. Like, we're playing with our best friends every single day. We lift each other up like in practices. It just makes it so much fun, and just to get here is a great experience.
Just one quick question for you guys. You've had a magical run, and just seeing you guys come out of Northwest Ohio, a lot of people doubt Northwest Ohio a lot. What does it mean that you were able to come into this game and really show people what Northwest Ohio could do in the basketball court?
I think it was really special for not just Northwest Ohio, but our community too. I think our sports in recent years haven't been as good as they have been in the past, and even in the NWAL, like it was very competitive this year. There was about 3 or 4 team toss-up, and you know, just to make it out of that, and then have not 1 but 2 NWAL teams go to regionals and have a chance to make it to state, and then us representing it and going to state. It's huge. It's huge for not only our community, but just everybody around us, because we got endless support from people in different towns, and it was really fun though, like the support that we felt.
Todd, you've been coaching for a while. You've had the ups and downs. You know what what this game kind of provides. But especially seeing it at districts, and and leading up to now, just what is this season, and especially this this postseason, it takes on another meaning. It seems there's that really that heart to it. What has that kind of meant for you as a coach? Having put a lot of years in on this track.
Well, I've said this before. It goes back to our youth coaches, our parents that stepped forward and volunteered with these kids, these groups, our junior high coaches, our varsity assistants, our alumni, which I love dearly, and I know any one of them would love to be sitting here or have that opportunity. You win with good people, and we got awesome community that just rallies around these kids, and our student body, made a 3-hour trek to Mansfield last week in a snowstorm, and that says a lot about the community and the student body and all the people that have got behind these kids and support them.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the community support, how to follow up on that. We saw great support from everybody in Bryan, people all over the country listening and following, but what about from other schools and other programs you play, how they've been supportive? Talk about what that support means to you as a Golden Bear.
Well, it's neat because you get a tweet from Corey Kreinbrink and Napoleon, who got to experience this and, won a state championship, and just all the league, most league coaches that reached out, and all Northwest Ohio coaches that, hey, go down and represent Northwest Ohio like we know you can, and that's neat. That's neat to see, and that support meant a lot to not only myself, but these kids, and obviously our whole community.
I guess just my last thing was, kind of for Reese as a senior, but when you talk about the underclassmen coming back and what this can a season like this can kind of mean, maybe that proof of concept of like, hey, we don't have to doubt anymore. We can make a run to state. To have that kind of optimism going forward. There's kind of the two sides of it. The 3 seniors graduating, but what is that? Kind of take me through the emotions a little bit, kind of knowing, hey, there's still a lot that this team can do.
I think in the locker room we talked, and obviously we're upset that the season's ended, but one of the things we said is we have 4 of our starters coming back next year as seniors, and I think we have a good chance and a good bond still, and even though we're losing our biggest players, I know that some of the younger ones will step up and help.
Yeah, I think it's a huge influence to be a freshman in high school and come on the team and then be a part of a state Final Four team. I think that would make any freshman want to get back to this spot again and want to try and work hard and make them work hard in practice so they can experience it and even be a part of it. I mean, not that they're not a part of it now, but, be a bigger playing role if they want to. So I think it's huge, and it boosts everybody's confidence for the next year.
I think the middle schoolers that are in the stands too, just them seeing us experience this, it's going to make them want to come and join and be along for the ride for each of the following years. So I think we'll have a good amount coming back.
Okay, we all set here? All right, thanks. Great.